Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 68 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. Mike and I are back podcasting on location. So it's been a little while since we were over anywhere, really, and we podcasted from Peavine, kind of where we started at the beginning of the year. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right. Mike, you're going to have to turn your mic on. So we are here. We are back. You should see the look.
How's that? We good?
That's perfect.
We're coming in hot. Nice. Yeah, turn it down, buddy.
You are coming in
today.
hot. So this is great because we are podcasting again out from Peavine Coffee House, and we haven't been here in a long time. And also,
like 10 years.
Previously, when we would podcast from Peavine, it would be at the crack of dawn. It would be at 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday. We would be the only people here. The coffee shop would be open. There'd be a couple mall walkers or whatnot, but you should see the look on Mike's face right now. He is so self-conscious. He is so embarrassed that there are human beings around watching him podcast and talking to the microphone.
You've got it all wrong, buddy.
Do I?
Well, normally you'd be right.
Okay.
If I was sitting here by myself, totally.
You would
since you're here, I know all eyes are on you.
All eyes are on me.
They don't even see me.
They don't even. They're like, because I'm the goofy guy that catches all the attention. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you're the one wearing the big headphones.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Not me.
That's true. And it's almost like you're a celebrity. I'm interviewing you because I've got all the gear set up facing me, and you're just like here. You're like,
who is this guy?
Yeah, you're like, you show up and you're like, looking awkward, like embarrassed, like I know it's kind of.
I thought this was.
It's kind of
me
cute.
And you just getting a cup of coffee.
It's kind of cute how much this guy likes me. It's kind of weird, but whatever, Yeah.
What is going on here?
Anything for a fan. Anything for a fan.
What is happening?
Well, what's happening is we are drinking some Nitro.
Yes.
So, and we are eating some homemade coffee cake. Coffee crumble cake, or what is it? What's the coffee?
What's going on here? I think we were talking about what should our next episode be about, and we're like, I don't know. Let's maybe talk about the different forms of cold coffee.
Yeah, because it's summer. Let's get into some iced stuff.
And then we wanted to tie that in. We thought it'd be nice to get out on location again. We haven't done it in a while. So Peavine, come up here to the mall. They've got the Nitro on tap.
They got the Nitro on tap.
Thought we would start there. And I kind of half failed because the other drink I got, as you were probably going to mention, it's called a Breve. Breve.
Yeah.
So what's the Breve? Is it basically they use half and half instead of whole milk. And it's a little thicker. It's just a latte, essentially.
Yeah.
With half and half.
Well, let's try it. Well,
I've never had one.
So I think that's good. Actually, what we had talked about.
So that's not a cold drink, though. So I missed it a little bit there.
That's all right. But you're totally off the hook because there was a limited menu as far as cold drinks go. So you could get Nitro and you could get like frappes. And we weren't in the mood for any ice blended frappe stuff. We wanted more of what we'll talk about our brew tip of the week a little later on. We kind of wanted maybe a little iced coffee with some vanilla sweet cream or something along those lines. And we were just going to kind of go half and half on the Nitro, half and half on maybe a different cold iced coffee drink. But all they really had was cold brew, Nitro on tap. And so you made the right decision by getting us.
What?
You made okay. You're going to make me say it again, aren't you? You're going to make me say it again.
Yeah, I wasn't listening. Sorry. I was distracted. There's a lot going on around us.
You made the right decision. There, I said it. And you got something that neither of us had tried, even though we were kind of going for all colds because it's summer and we wanted to talk about that stuff. It still was the right thing.
Breve sounds refreshing. It should be a cold.
It does, yeah. Wow. This Nitro, what do you think of the Nitro here at Peavine?
So this Nitro that we got, it's a concentrated cold brew that they have told us previously it's very high in caffeine content.
Yeah.
So we split a 12-ounce.
Yeah.
But no flavor, straight up. That's what you said, straight up? I said straight up.
Straight up.
So that maybe we could say that.
So apparently people put some flavoring inside this Nitro, which I thought was very strange because you're really going for texture, mouthfeel, flavor on the Nitro. I wouldn't think that someone would put a syrup in it.
Maybe a little vanilla?
Maybe.
I bet you natural vanilla extract would taste pretty good in this.
A natural vanilla extract, maybe with a little bit of simple syrup or cane sugar?
Just a hint.
Just a hint.
A hint of
it.
A hint of organic, natural essence.
I like that. I like that.
Do you?
Essence of vanilla.
Essence of natural organics.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that is real good. Essence of natural organics. In fact, if you say, "Oh, we've got the essence of natural organics in there. We don't flavor our coffees with anything else." I think that's a selling point. That's a selling point,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
good. It totally is, and it reminds me of those videos that one guy produces where he dresses up as the stereotypical individual from different. Have you seen that? And he makes fun of them. He's like, if meat eaters acted like vegans.
Oh yeah.
I don't know his name.
JP Sears.
Is that him?
Yeah, he's great.
It's
he's
funny.
Great.
He nails the impressions very well, and it's a joke. But
yeah,
you reminded me of that.
He was great. He is great. You know what else is very good? We really enjoy Peavine. We enjoy the people. We enjoy the service. We have, in times past or visits past, enjoyed the food. And
yes.
Right now we're looking at a pastry, and we have
Cupcake.
coffee. Yeah. And so
I think it's cranberry.
those are the only things that are currently available is coffee and pastry, which is kind of what typical traditional coffee shops have. They have coffee, they have pastries.
Goes good together.
Peavine is a little different. They are open inside a food court inside the mall. That's where we're sitting, if you can hear the background noise there. But their take on it was a little bit different. They wanted to offer a full food menu.
Mm-hmm.
And they offered quite a lot
They
of
sure did.
food items. They offered breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They offered sandwiches and soups. They offered really great meals, and they did a fantastic job with it. They really had a great grilled cheese, and they had a great breakfast sandwich.
Gourmet.
They did that for a year, and now no more. They said it just was not worth the time, effort, money, energy.
Extra staff.
The extra staff that it took. It just wasn't profitable. They just couldn't sustain it. They can't do it anymore. And it reminds me of something that I also heard on the Gary Vee, podcast today. Can I say it? And I think it just needs to be said. Business is hard.
Yeah.
This is hard.
They're so true.
This is a lot of hard work. I mean, we're out here talking about it. I mean, and we go to people's cafes, and we I don't want to say that I nitpick them to death, but if I'm not treated well,
Well, if you
I
did,
let
though,
you know.
I wouldn't be far off.
All I'm saying is that I'm telling you, I fully acknowledge the fact that business is hard.
Yeah.
I think treating people poorly makes it harder
Long
than
term,
it
making a
needs to be.
profit, sustainable.
But yeah, these are big. This is a big deal. These are big decisions with life impacting results. People's lives, people's livelihoods. So livelihood, whatever.
Well,
It's a
you
big
always
deal.
have the dream that where we're at. You have the dream, the aspirations of what your business should be, where you want it to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a business. I'm going to do this with it. I'm going to have this. We're only going to have this specialty. We're only going to sell beans that were roasted that morning. You have all these high expectations, and then all of a sudden, the first bill comes.
That is really good.
It is a great coffee cake. I finished mine. While Jake
Wow.
was going on, and
Wow, now we're going to switch.
now your turn.
Now you're going to hear the mic voice a little bit.
Yeah, but
more.
I don't think you're going to stop talking. I think you're just going to talk through it.
You're probably right.
That's what you do.
You're probably right.
But then you have the bills that come through, and then you have the scheduling that comes, and all the factors that you need in place to, enable you to accomplish that dream. And you realize, okay, maybe my expectations were unrealistic, or just not at this time. So I think there's a lot that has to be considered. And I think one thing for me, I think a little bit of a difference, and we've talked about this before, and Kent and Cloud mentioned this. They went into the first shop, opening their first shop, with already a plan in place for the next shop. And to me, that's huge.
I think that's key.
That is key, if that's where you want to go. If you're like, hey, no, I want one shop, that's it, then no problem.
And you just want to
Do your
stand
thing.
behind the bar and pull shots and, and serve your customers, and that's great.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a little different if you come into it saying, well, 2 shops would be great one day, but for right now, let's just focus. We're not going to have a plan. We're not going to have anything. I think what happens is you
never get to it.
Quickly
You never
tied
get
down,
there. Yeah.
and it no longer will be a reality or something that you're striving for.
But if you come in with the idea that you are there, like Andrew reached out to us. He met Jared his last trip to Cat and Cloud. He met Jared while he was there.
Oh, did he?
So they are not absentee owners, but they are not pulling shots every day.
Yeah.
They
have a schedule that doesn't include them.
They pull shifts, or they help out. They fill in. They're there. They're a part of it, but they're podcasting from from the cafe.
Roastery,
Yeah, from the cafe. They've got a little glass wall or whatever, or windows that you can see them and all that stuff. But they're not the business. If it's not dependent upon them to have to show up in order to keep going.
Yeah, because they knew. They knew.
They are busy running the business, not running a cafe.
And I think a part of that is they knew they still wanted to have a life outside of work. I think they wanted to be able to have time for their families, time to go on trips, time to go to SCA, time to go to all these different events, and
take their employees with them.
Take their employees. Yeah. So how do you get to a point like that? What does it require? To me,
it requires planning.
It requires planning, but I can't disconnect it from it requires money.
Right.
I think that's where it starts. You have to have enough capital, I think, at the beginning to jump in and say, okay, we're going to hire a team. They hired like 10 people day one, and now they've doubled their staff with the second location.
And that means you have to be, you might have to be more patient. You might have to be more patient as you seek to get loans or wait to pull the trigger because you're saving up more money or working 2 jobs or whatever it is you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Or we could sell the home, put it all on black, and see what happens. Let it ride. That's actually not worked out for me. That was the black
last
or
business.
red.
That was maybe I went red. Maybe that was a problem.
That might have been the problem. That might have been it. So I don't know. I think that's part of what it takes. So anyway, that's what brings us to Peavine. Some thoughts that we had visiting them.
Yeah.
We really enjoy coming up to see them. I've started in on this Breve, and I am really liking it.
You're digging it? All right.
Really liking it. What did you think of the Nitro, though?
Nitro is very good. Nitro is good. I got to tell you, I like the flavor profile of iced coffee or Japanese-style coffee or whatever else you're going to call, however else you're going to make iced coffee.
Brewed hot and then chilled.
Brewed hot and then chilled. I like that more than cold brew. There's something about cold brew that just kind of leaves this lingering...
It doesn't satisfy?
Something. It's like the flavors just aren't as... I don't know.
Well, they are. They're very muted. They're very muted.
Let me tell you, I think Manny G. I'm gonna go into Manny G recommends here real quick, and actually I'm gonna talk about Manny's comments, then come back to Manny G recommends.
Manny G recommends.
So Manny's comments about this device that cools coffee immediately. He says this, and I'm just gonna read it. Actually, I'm not gonna read it. Am I gonna read it? Yes.
You're going to read it about the device, or are you going to tell them what the device is first? Or are you going to save that?
I had something so good.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm going to summarize what Manny said because I can't find it. So Manny wrote me a little thing, and he said that he personally prefers coffees with kind of citrus, fruity, floral flavors cold, more so than that traditional cup. That chocolate, that nuttiness. He says he doesn't really like the flavor of it as it cools. He likes that flavor hot more than he does cold.
Gotcha.
And I think maybe we're getting a whole lot of nuttiness or chocolatiness from the Nitro. And then it just maybe the flavor of the cold brew is just not quite there. And I don't know how to balance that. I don't know exactly how you would balance that. But I do want to rant real quick if I can, and then come back to Manny.
Should I turn the mic off? I'm
No.
gonna rest my hand.
Okay, rest your hand real quick. So there was Manny had slung a little something. I didn't recommend. I don't know if we ever put it on Manny G recommends. I don't think. Maybe we even talked about it. But this iced espresso, cold pressed espresso. That's what it was. Cold pressed espresso. Yeah, it was a cold brew. It's kind of a drink, and I'm like, it's not espresso. Look, just call it what it is. But espresso, it's not a bean. Espresso is not a bean. It's not a territory. It is a drink preparation method.
No.
It is a method of brewing coffee.
What's what it says on the bag I buy from the store.
No.
Espresso roast.
No. And it's starting to bother me more than it did in times past. Because I feel like it's deception. I feel like it's deceitful.
Do you think it's confusing?
I think it's confusing. No, it's a cold brew. It's a cold brew.
No, it's cold press.
It's not cold.
What is cold press?
It can be cold pressed. It can be cold brewed, but it cannot be cold espresso. It can't be iced or even if you're going to say it's espresso, you better be pulling individual shots and then putting them in bottles for me. And I don't have a problem with that. That's very time. But see, nobody's going to do that because it's very time intensive. You're not going to have somebody standing around pulling shots all day on an espresso machine and then putting each of those shots and mixing in it with cold brew. Although now that I'm talking about it, I think this might be a business model here. Like your baristas are standing around doing nothing. Hey, have them pull shots, add a little cold brew, add a little espresso, throw it in a bottle, and throw it in the freezer or fridge, and then we're going to sell those puppies. I don't know, but anyhow, Manny G recommends the ColdWave. The ColdWave is this. It's basically a pitcher that you put your hot brewed coffee into. You take an insert from the freezer. You place it into the pitcher. Once it's cold, and it takes about 90 seconds to cool 16 ounces, you then have iced coffee or cold coffee. It is available at icecoldnow.com. It's also available on Amazon at $29.99 or $39.99. Sorry, free shipping. But basically, this insert freezes, and it freezes in I want to say 24 hours. Let me just check. In 60 minutes.
Yeah.
It freezes in an hour.
It utilizes just water.
And
simply water.
Water inside these little cells.
Yeah.
And those cells are placed inside the liquid, and it cools it very quickly because the liquid is forced in between the cells.
Yeah.
And then it's brought down to the temperature that you want, and then you can pour it. James Hoffman did a video review on it.
He sure did.
Manny G recommends it. Manny loves it. Manny was able to, get
some good results from it.
A good result consistently.
Yeah, I think that the idea behind it, the way it's designed, is that they maximize the surface area of the cold, of the cold surfaces.
Yes,
and that's why you have all these little chambers that the coffee can be wrapped around.
Right.
And so instead of having just like a sphere in the middle, right, being cold, it's like we're going to have a lot of surface area.
Which is kind of common out there. Like they make these little metal things that you can freeze, and you put them inside a beer bottle, or you put them inside.
Well, that's more how the Hyperchiller that I have works.
Well, the Hyperchiller is
it's got an outside.
It's got an outside cooler and an inside cooler. But the biggest difference that I found here between the ColdWave and the Hyperchiller is the ColdWave does 16 ounces. That's a big selling point for them. It's it's big, it's up front, it's on their website, it's kind of one of the first things you see. 16 ounces, 90 seconds to cool, 100% safe because it only contains purified water in the cells, and 60 minutes. It refreezes in about an hour. That's their big 4 selling points, their big main features. If you go to Hyperchiller, you have got to shop now. You have to add it to the cart until you find out how much volume actually can go in it.
Sure.
And it's 12.5 ounces.
It's smaller.
So they say that you can use it twice before refreezing it. And so Manny G recommends the ColdWave, but Mike has the Hyperchiller. So Mike, have you used it twice before? Can you get 2 drinks out of it before you freeze it? And then how long does it take to refreeze? Is it overnight?
Yeah, the Hyperchiller does. I haven't actually tested it. They recommend 24 hours to get it, I think, frozen, like frozen solid. But because what you're doing is you're creating like maybe a half-inch thick wall of ice around the outside, all the way around.
And on the inside.
And then in the inside, it's probably has a diameter of maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Solid, like
core.
Yeah. So
now, do you have to place the core in there? Is it in the lid? Or is the core already in there and the liquid just kind of goes around it?
Correct.
And then you put the lid on?
Yeah, it's all
one piece.
It's all put together, and you pour the hot coffee right in the lid. It's got like a brew-through lid.
And that's it.
And it goes right in there. Okay. And then within I'd say the longer you leave it, the colder it gets, obviously. So I like 3 minutes. And then if you do a second one immediately, you want to leave it for 5 to 6 minutes. But it will do 2 back to back.
And so how long does it take the first one? Is it 2 minutes, you said?
Yeah, I would say I like to leave it for 2 to 3 minutes. But I think they claim it goes quicker.
I think Manny said his takes about 2-3 minutes as well.
Yeah.
They say 90 seconds.
More liquid, though.
They say 90 seconds for your hot coffee.
Yeah. I think it depends on how hot.
Yeah.
They say if you're putting in hot water at this temp, it will do that. Because I even think
you're putting
the ColdWave will let you do 2. It says if you only depending on how hot the liquid is, you
Yeah.
can do more.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a pour over at 200 or 205, and you're doing an AeroPress between 175 and 185,
Yeah.
it's a significant difference. That's 20 degrees difference. And you know what? I did the Japanese method when I used the AeroPress,
Yeah.
and I did it at
Straight over
185,
ice.
straight over ice. I like that.
I do too.
Instead of doing the pour over at 200. So I dropped it down to 185. I've been experimenting with a lower temperature
Sure.
on my AeroPress.
Interesting.
So
Which is nice if you're still finding that the extraction is sufficient.
Yeah.
You're not coming in as hot, so you're
Yeah.
not going to melt as much ice.
yeah, that was
Chill it
my
quicker.
concept.
Yeah, it might just be good all around.
Both are available on Amazon. We'll throw the links out there. The Hyperchiller is $29.99. The ColdWave is $39.99. So both are free shipping on Amazon. The Hyperchiller, if you order it from the site, they want you to order 2 before they will give you free shipping, but you can get free shipping on Amazon.
Yeah, and I would say don't try it. Try just brewing over ice. You will taste what an iced coffee tastes like compared to a cold brew.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the Hyperchiller. I don't have the ColdWave, but I would very much like to put them head to head and see what's going on. I think it's kind of it's almost a different product. Like the way that they're marketed, to me, it looks like the ColdWave is like for a party, for multiples. It's in a pitcher, it's got, I don't know, it just looks like all their marketing looks like, hey, this is for 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hyperchiller looks like it's marketed for an individual.
Yeah.
Like you throw it in your Keurig, and underneath your Keurig, you brew it through, and now you've got an iced coffee to go.
Well, I think you're right. They recommend, too, when you get the Hyperchiller, that they recommend getting 2. So you've always got one ready to go.
Yeah.
So.
Now, the other thing that I can't help but notice, because I always have a mind towards...
Fashion?
I always have a mind towards fashion.
That's
What is this going to look like with my accessories? No.
Yeah, I was afraid we were going to end up wearing the same shirt, by the way.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
glad we didn't.
Yeah.
It's close. I almost wore that one.
That's sad. That
would've
sad
been-
that we're not wearing the same shirt. We should have.
We should have.
But I always have a mind towards the business. How can you scale this? And
Yeah, can you use it in a
ultimately,
coffee shop?
You
Is that
can't
what
use it
mean?
in a coffee shop. You can't do it. You not consistently. You'd have to have 100. Or I don't know. It depends on how busy your coffee shop is.
Yeah,
But
you'd have to have a lot.
Even if it freezes in an hour, you'd have to have a big freezer to put all those cold waves in or all those hyperchillers in. And I think the Japanese style works better for scaling, for a cafe, for a shop. I don't know. I'd like to know, have you ever been to a shop where they have the hyperchiller or the cold wave or anything where they cool it rapidly?
Other than just straight ice. I think you can get away with ice, especially if you come up with a unique, like if you have a sphere,
Yeah.
right, and you could, each sphere is the same size.
Yes.
And okay, we use this and we brew it a little bit stronger and account for a little bit melt.
Yeah.
We get to where we want.
I'm
you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm so ready. By the end of the year, I'm gonna have that recipe consistently.
I think you could still dial
Be
that
ready
in.
to go.
And it would be scalable.
And you could have, because you could have 20 spheres ready to go.
There's a trick. There's an easy way to make a sphere. Not a clear sphere, but a sphere.
I want a clear sphere. I don't want just a sphere.
Yeah, well.
I want a clear sphere.
You can still probably, I'm saying, practice
Yeah.
with spheres.
Yeah. What is
And
it?
that is, you use balloons. You fill up a balloon, freeze it,
Yeah.
and then...
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if they have cactus-shaped balloons out there. Because I was thinking, how can you get a cactus shape for something? And really the answer for the cactus shape is
3D printer.
you have to have somebody make it for you, and they're probably going to charge you a lot. But look at that, a balloon. You could totally use cactus balloons.
You could. Yeah, I don't know how well it would work, but you could experiment with it. But I think we were going to mess around with it this weekend for the party that we're having. We're going to get a bunch of little balloons, fill them up with purified water, and just have little ice spheres. We have the goal for this weekend, I was going to have cold brew on the counter just ready to go for the guests that we're having. And in it, instead of having it just full of ice, we're going to have, I think maybe 1.5 inch diameter, just a bunch of spheres in there to help
That'd be cool.
keep it from melting so quickly.
That'd be real cool. What I also like about that is, you could have cold brew on tap, of course, and I think that's what most shops do, right? They have cold brew, they'll have nitro, and then they'll just throw it in regular ice for you, or they'll just serve it up straight.
Yeah.
Like when you go down to Boss, They put it
Nice.
on ice for you. Here at Peavine, I've only had it just straight. They've never put ice in it for me.
In the Nitro?
In the Nitro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, it's
there's
chilled.
obviously, it's chilled. So there's a couple different options that you can do, but that's the way that they scale it. That's the way they make it fast. And they kind of, the Hyperchiller and the ColdWave both kind of have these pitches or these sales features that say, you know, you're not going to go spend so much money you're going to save money by not going to the cafes for cold brew. You're going to, you know, you don't have to wait 18 hours for a cold brew. It's almost like it's a completely different product with completely different flavors.
It really
but
is.
We're just going to try and sell you on, we're going to time. That's the selling point. Not that there's different flavors, not that you're going to get a more flavorful cup, not that it's, you know, a different drink altogether. We're just going to try and get you on the time, save you time, save you money, boom, bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah.
But it really is a completely different drink.
It really is. And this last weekend, my father came over, and I took the opportunity to make him some iced drinks just to see what he thinks. He's just a classic, traditional coffee drinker, but he enjoys some of the specialty coffee I've prepared for him. He enjoys the different flavors, but he takes it neat, pure, black.
Yeah, yeah.
So I made him first the one in the shaker that we're going to talk about here in a moment, you know, with vanilla and sugar.
I love that one.
I really enjoyed that. That was made, I substituted cold brew, because I don't have an espresso machine. I don't have anything decent around the house, so I couldn't
Nothing
pull any shots on that.
Nothing decent laying around? I need
But the
to get
cold brew
something
works
decent.
very well for that. And then I gave him cold brew straight with nothing, just diluted down a little bit, and he didn't like it. And he's like, I couldn't drink this. So then I made him an iced coffee, pour over right in the ice, and he drank the whole thing black. He said that was good. I could drink that. It was
Yeah.
more refreshing.
Yeah.
So
The missus,
I would agree.
The missus, and this will jump, I'll go straight into the coffee review here. But the missus drinks hers with cream and sugar. She loves the saguaro. And she's mad at Mike. Actually, she's mad at me for not getting on Mike, for not getting some more saguaro coffee. But when that's not available, I got problems. You know what I mean? And because she wants it with cream and sugar. And she loves that traditional flavor, nuttiness, roastiness, chocolate, loves that. Not a fan of drinking coffee neat or pure. She will try it for me because I'll ask her to drink it straight up. But when I made this brandy wine, this naturally processed El Salvadorian Santa Ana, Japanese style iced coffee,
Yeah.
I made it out of a pour over, and I made it for an AeroPress. And today, when I made it for the AeroPress, she's like, yep, get that blueberries to the face. And it's such a flavorful coffee. There's so much going on there that she is willing to drink it neat, pure, straight up, because it's so good.
It's got more going on.
There's so much going on.
Sure.
But like if I give her straight cold brew, whether it's Stumptown, whether it's Boss, it doesn't matter who it is. She wants me to put some half and half and some simple syrup in it for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got it.
I would agree.
You got to have something in there to sweeten it up. Kind of, it's just kind of boring. The flavors are muted.
Doesn't lend itself well to just.
It's just
by
not very good.
It goes well with cream and sugar.
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
does.
okay, that's good.
That's a great drink.
Especially if it's got like chocolatey tones. It's almost like a milk chocolate coffee.
Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. But now she not with
But did she like
not with the blueberries to the face. Not that naturally processed El Salvadorian Santa Ana from Brandywine. Thanks, Manny.
Did she try the iced coffee? Is that what you were saying you made
Yes.
for her?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if it was hot or iced.
Iced.
So
No, I made it Japanese style.
So even iced,
brewed it
she
over ice.
could taste the blueberry.
No. That's when she will drink the blueberries to the face.
Okay.
Like if I make it for her hot, she doesn't like it because she wants to add cream and sugar to hot coffee.
Even the Santa Ana.
Even the Santa Ana, even the blueberries to the face, she doesn't like it hot. But you put that iced with those
Changes
strong
it.
flavors,
Yeah.
totally changes it. She's like, this is a great drink.
Gotcha.
This is a great drink.
Yeah, because it's refreshing, tea-like, almost.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, it's
with a lot of fruity flavors. So,
absolutely.
do you need to reset?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this thing on?
It is now, yeah. So I guess the Peavine coffee experience is what we were supposed to talk about next, but we kind of been talking about that the whole time. Should I add the little audio clip in now, or should I put it in earlier? And it's weird I'll just add it in now.
I don't know. Maybe just have Suri add it in wherever she feels.
Now, what do you think about the? So last week we totally messed up, and it's not Mike's fault at all. It is all my fault. I messed up on the episode numbers, and then I went through and I had Siri fix them for us, both 66 and 67. What did you think? Was it all right, or did you enjoy it?
It was
or?
good.
Yeah,
Siri was right on.
Siri was good.
Yeah, I think she should be responsible for more. I think we need to get her in here. Probably have greater accuracy with some of the facts we claim.
Yeah, maybe we need to have a little more Siri, a little less Mike. Or Jake. Wait a minute, hold on.
Siri's going to, well, it's good. We'll come up with ideas that eliminate both of us.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Siri will just
be more efficient.
talk about it. This is a coffee podcast. So the
good stuff.
Orange Cactus coffee update. The King Cup is out. By the time you hear this, when you hear this, it's on the website.
That's funny.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless something happened.
Nothing. No.
Unless something unforeseen happened.
No, don't even. We're in the future, Mike. Just pretend. Everything's great.
Yeah. The King Cup is actually sold out. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not sold out.
Oh, no. We're not that far in the future.
No.
It's still 2017.
Do you have anything else to say about the Orange Cactus coffee, our business, what we're trying to do, accomplish, anything else? Not really. We don't really have anything going on to add to, except that.
No, I think just that we appreciate everyone that's been listening. We appreciate, I think, our partnership, or whatever you want to call it, our collaboration with Scott Rayo has been going well. And we really appreciate him. And I think along those same lines, we hope to bring you more
value?
content. Yeah.
More content, yeah.
In line with that. And bringing some other people on the show, maybe as regulars, and then also getting some more interviews. We have goals to expand the podcast and expand the content we're producing. And part of the way that we're going to achieve that is with your continued support in many different ways, with likes, reviews.
Yeah. I feel some tension there because when I look at the way to build a podcast or build a community,
build it, and they will come.
Some of it seems like the things that a lot of the professionals will coach you on seems a little manipulative to me. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like it has your best interest as the listener in mind. It has our best interest as podcasters in mind.
Sure.
So we don't do them. We don't do them. But on the other hand, I really want to provide as much value as possible. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's some crossover there, which is Mike is not a coffee expert. I am not a coffee expert. But there are plenty of coffee experts out there, I think, that would...
They exist.
They exist, and we'd love to... Yeah,
walk among us.
They're alive. They're humans.
Yeah,
they can.
Some are.
They can speak. And so maybe we're thinking that we can get some of them on the show a little bit more regularly. And we've been talking about reaching out to someone specifically. I'm not going to drop names just because if it doesn't happen, I don't want you to be disappointed.
Yeah, we're not that far in the future.
But just like for each of our segments, as we get different segments going, maybe we can have specific individuals,
absolutely,
coffee experts, come on for those, different.
Well, there's
the brew tip of the week.
There's corporate.
Which we're going to do.
There's corporate lingo that fits this very well.
Oh, what is it? What am I missing here?
Well, you could refer to them as SMEs, as some in the corporate world might say, or SMEs.
Oh, yes, subject matter experts.
Yeah, so we could totally get some more subject matter experts.
Ooh, that sounds real good. What about if I say it like this? We're considering adding. Never mind.
Let's try it again.
Your turn. We're considering adding subject matter experts for this segment of our podcast, hoping that it will increase listenership, viewership, responsiveness, and
longevity.
We're so bad at this, but I don't know.
I just think SMEs. Welcome. SMEs. We want to introduce you to this week's SME. It is Captain Hook's little partner. That's what I think of when you say SME. SME.
Yeah, I just think there are interesting people out there doing interesting things in coffee, and if we could get some of them on the show, I think it would add value to our listeners, you listening, and we want to do a better job for you instead of just Mike and I rambling on. Though I get messages all the time. I enjoy, hey, I really enjoyed you and Mike bantering back and forth, and I'm like, we're not bantering. What are you talking about, bantering?
We're not arguing.
We're in agreement on that.
No, we're just having a word battle. That's what,
So I hope you enjoy Mike and I, but we want to give you more. We want to give you more than just Mike and I, but we don't want to...
well, we know you can only take so much.
But we know... Yeah, exactly. But we don't want it to just be interview focused, because when we look out at a lot of the coffee landscape, the podcast landscape, it's heavily focused on interviews. I mean, and there's lots of great interviews, and there's lots of great people doing great things in coffee and having great podcasts, and they're doing great interviews, and you know what? They're doing a good job at that.
They're doing it.
And we're doing. I mean, they're doing it. They're really, really doing it, and we're doing something completely different.
They're not sitting in the food court.
They're not sitting in a food court.
Drinking breves.
No.
Looking at each other.
No. But see, once we start getting the hang of this, and we have a mobile setup now, there's nothing holding us back from going to all kinds of different places, setting up and doing it. And one of these days, one of these Friday mornings, I'm going to kidnap Mike, take him down to Press. We're going to do the cupping, and then we're going to go to the Press location, and we're going to podcast
talk about it?
Either from the cupping location, depends, because they know who we are now. They might force us in.
The secret is out.
The secret is out. I had a good job. I mean, I did a good job of staying low key the first time I went, but then as I was leaving, the manager stuck his head out and he was like, "Hey, I see you. Got you on that shout out on that Facebook today," and then. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go in there all incognito again. They might be like, hey, don't you guys run a show? Do you have your equipment? Let's do something right now.
No, you can't go anywhere twice and not be recognized. You know that. No.
I can go somewhere twice and not receive a flawless experience. I can tell you that much.
Sure, absolutely. But I think that would be great. So that's to summarize. We want to do a lot more.
Yes,
we appreciate your support.
Yes,
really, what helps us when we're trying to pitch this to some people is, hey, look, we've got some good reviews, we have some good ratings, we have a little presence.
It does help,
and that can only come from you guys.
Yeah,
I can only create so many false accounts.
It's true.
And put out fake reviews.
Right.
iTunes, Apple's quick; they just pull them down as fast as I create them.
We only have so many click banks, warehouses in China. With Androids and smartphones hooked up that are liking.
Yeah, they keep pulling our
liking our posts.
It's only so much we can do. So that's our goal. What else we got? We got anything else to talk about?
Yeah, well, we got the brew tip of the week.
Oh, the brew tip. Oh no, we were gonna. Okay.
The brew tip of the week.
So our brew tip.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just giving pause. I didn't know when you want to insert the little
I don't
jingle.
Do I have a brew tip of the week?
Oh, probably not.
I don't think I have a brew tip of the week jingle. Maybe I should make one.
You don't have one.
I got Coffee Legends, Coffee Experience, and Coffee History. Well, we're not doing Coffee Legends or Coffee History. We're doing Coffee Experience, and we totally bombed Coffee Experience because we talked about it in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. So we totally destroyed that.
Well, really, they are experiencing it with us. We're here now.
So should I do a jingle for brew tip of the week, or should we wait till we reach out to the individual that we have in mind? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah.
And then come up with a jingle like we have. Manny G recommends. I didn't do that jingle. There's a German gal, a gal in Germany that does that jingle for us.
Yeah. Yeah, professional.
A professional.
That we paid.
Not some bozo with a blingity bling and a microphone.
I think we should wait to come up because this isn't even a brew tip. So.
Oh, it's not a brew tip?
Well, it's a drink recipe suggestion.
Yeah, that's close enough.
It is close.
Yeah.
But going in line with what you're saying, let's wait, because the official brew tips on technique and how to make a better cup of coffee.
Yeah. This is going to get you a better cup of iced coffee.
This is going to get you a better drink. Yeah.
That's why I thought it fit.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'm just saying, you asked if we should wait. I'm saying, yes, we should wait. And here's an additional reason why. Okay, good. Just spill the Breville on me.
Yeah.
The Breville?
The Breville.
Isn't that a shaver?
I did not mean to spill the Breville on you, Michael.
Isn't the Breville a shaver? What is the Breville?
You actually were...
Braun is a shaver.
You were trying to speak in the third person.
Breve.
Don't spill the Breve on Michael.
Breve. I want to say
so
Breve.
You said, don't spill the Breville. Because you were just shocked.
Is that a
just
brewer?
Shocked.
The Breville?
It should be if it's not. Oh, I have... I got a brewer on the way.
I think the caffeine's kicking in.
Too much?
We've had Nitro and a Breville.
And we're ready to go. We are so ready to go. All right.
So here we go.
Of the week.
So I put it out there on the Instagram, and this is something that I've had almost a year now. When I was subscribed to the subscription service.
Yes.
Subscribe to subscription.
I think you do subscribe to subscriptions.
Yeah. Not prescriptions.
Well, you
know,
can
one
be,
time I
can you
went
be
through.
prescribed to prescriptions or subscribe to subscriptions.
Yeah, you're throwing me off there.
Yeah.
One time I went through the drive-through
Yeah.
at Walgreens to pick up prescriptions.
Yeah.
And I asked if I could pick up my subscriptions.
Yeah.
And Lindsay goes, "We're not getting magazines."
We're not getting magazines, dear.
I was like, "What is it?" She's
I
like,
don't. You know what?
I'm such an idiot.
No, you're fine. I don't.
Can I get my subscriptions?
She really doesn't let you slide on much. I gotta tell you. She doesn't let you get away with a whole lot of things that
Well-
I almost feel bad not letting you get away with things on the show because I think it's funny and I think the audience enjoys it.
I enjoy it.
But then to see the kind of butt whipping you get when you're away from here, it makes me sad. It makes me feel like I should be nicer to you, but I don't want to let.
Sometimes I choose the wrong word. It's known. But in all honesty, I rather
I
know
don't want to let the audience down.
than continuing. Because
Yeah.
that's worse when it's a running. Don't tell him.
Okay.
Every time we come here, he calls.
Yeah, but you were. I don't want to. You know me. I don't want to take your side. But
No.
the last time the missus got on you, you were right.
I don't even remember.
It does not important.
Doesn't
to me
even
neither.
matter.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. But I'm only saying that because she's not here.
This is a dangerous
I wouldn't-
conversation.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that if she was here or if I thought she listened to the podcast. I would not say anything.
Sometimes it's not a matter of being right. It's a matter of humility. It's a matter of figuring out what is going to resolve the situation.
Huh.
And then you allow others to come in and say,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
they were right and you were wrong.
Wow. Okay. Well, on that incredible.
There's more to that, but we were talking about a drink recipe.
Yes. Oh, that's
that
right.
you have to have a Breve to make. That's where I was going with this.
A Breve?
We're so deep in it, I don't even know where we're at right now.
Okay.
So Blue Bottle, when I was subscribed to their subscription service, they sent me one time a iced coffee recipe, if you could call it that. It's more than that. But basically what they do is they use, I think, Hayes Valley espresso. I think they use 2 shots of Hayes Valley. They use 200 grams of ice. They use 100 grams of milk. They use 9 to 10 grams of pure raw sugar and only 1 gram of vanilla extract. They put all that in a shaker and they shake it, which I was like, that's crazy. I have a shaker. So I tried it. We loved it. We thought it was awesome. So I've made it a little different because I wanted a little more. It's kind of small, and that goes with James's point. You want more? Order 2, or you know what I mean? We're not going to make a bigger size for you.
Yeah.
But I found it didn't produce enough liquid because it was so good. And we've
Yeah.
talked about this with iced coffee.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a little more.
Yeah, I want
Right?
at least 16 ounces of liquid, not
Yeah.
counting the ice that's in there. I want 16 ounces of liquid. And I got to tell you, that drink is absolutely outstanding.
I made you some, didn't I? That's right.
You sure did. And the best thing about the whole experience is Mike has, you've probably seen it. You've seen videos of him. He has flawless hair. Always flawless hair. Great hair. Manicured hair.
Yeah.
And when he's sitting there shaking, he's very intense. I mean, he's very dedicated.
You have to.
his
You gotta be
craft.
committed.
He goes all in. He goes all in.
If you're not committed,
so
you might as well
he's
not
all
even
in
try.
with the shaker, and the hair is bouncing, and it's kind of it's adding.
I didn't
to the
use enough
experience.
hairspray that day, probably.
It's adding to the experience, and I
We've
just
rectified that.
I I found myself giggling like, and
Look
it
at
was
his hair. He's crazy.
and and it was a little rude because it was a great drink, and here he is making this exceptional experience for me. But I got to tell you, it was an experience. It wasn't just one of the homies making you a cup of coffee. It was an experience. And when
That's
you do
great.
that, when
It's
you
memorable.
when it absolutely, it's meaningful. When you have the great vanilla, you've got the great, what was it, simple syrup or what kind of sugar? Cane sugar or something?
yeah,
Was there?
I use pure raw sugar.
So
cane sugar.
The ingredients
You're
were
right.
special. The way you thought of it when you made it was special. And then there's almost a performance with that shaker. I love the metal shaker.
Well, yeah, and then you use these tall glasses.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing.
The whole
This
thing. Now, if you imagine if you were pouring that over clear spheres or clear
Yeah.
squares or a clear cactus.
And that's how
inside
Blue Bottle
the glass.
recommends finishing it off. You add
Yeah.
another, I think, 100 grams of ice to the glass, pour it over the ice, and boom, here you go.
Done deal.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. So what I've done to substitute that, our spin on it, is I use cold brew, a cold brew concentrate.
Instead of
Yeah, instead of hot shots.
Yeah.
And so that works quite well. I like you can use 60, but I like 90 grams or roughly 3 ounces of cold brew concentrate.
Yeah.
And I use little less ice, 150 grams of ice in the shaker, but I do a whole cup of milk, 240 grams of milk. And then I do 10 grams of raw sugar, and I up the vanilla extract just a little bit to 3 grams because I'm using more milk.
Yeah.
Shake that up, pour it over a little bit of ice, in a tall glass, and you got yourself a great drink.
Yeah.
The
really
shaking,
is.
the point of the shaker is you create like a frothy, almost like a foam layer on top. And you can control how much foam you want by either just pouring it through the little top of the shaker with the holes. If you're familiar with the shaker, it has like the little half circle lid that you take off, and then there's the perforated holes. You can pour the liquid out.
Yeah.
You can also take the whole top off, I don't know what you want to call it, and pour some of the foam out that doesn't make it through the holes and make it even thicker. Yeah. Which I like to do too. So
yeah, it'd be cool to find the right recipe there. But I think it's an incredible experience, and especially if you start using.
That is the recipe.
Look, you're using different types of ice. You're using different. I don't know. It's just different glasses. It's just if you think it's special and you put a lot of special effort into it, how is it not special?
I haven't had one person that I've made it for not want one immediately right away.
Right away.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I don't think I said I wanted another one right away. I don't think I was rude like that.
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember anything you say.
Well, that's probably for the best.
And I listen back to these podcasts sometimes like, wow.
You listen to him?
Wow, he does talk a lot. I didn't realize that.
You actually listen to the podcast?
That's what he said.
Huh.
Well, I skim through when I make the video.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah.
So, sometimes I listen to him.
Well, I love the sound of my own voice, and I listen to him all the time because I'm like, man.
I know. It's weird.
That guy is so good.
I've come over, and you've had the Daily Ristretto on repeat. I'm like, that's
too much. It's too much. It's just you. It's too much.
It's just you.
Maybe I should get somebody else on the Daily Ristretto with me.
I can do a cameo.
You did? You did one.
But a solo cameo.
Oh, a solo cameo. Good luck getting that posted. That doesn't have me in it? That's not going anywhere.
I'll figure it out.
That's not going anywhere.
I will call iTunes. They will help me.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. Just like you called Johnny Cupcakes.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Cupcakes actually did help me out because I sent them an email. Just cold emailed them.
That's good stuff. So anyway, try that recipe if you've got a shaker. The shaker was cool. It helps everything kind of mix really well. Ice adds a little froth to it.
Yeah.
Vanilla extract, way better than the syrups, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the raw cane sugar.
Raw. All right. Cool. Enjoy this time together. Thanks so much for listening. And we out.
Until next time.
Peace. Thank you again so much for listening to the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. You can find the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 68. That's episode 68. And we'll catch you next time.